Ciao, today I'm cooking matriciana, which is a very quick recipe, and I've already put the pasta water on. Matriciana comes from a place in Italy called Amatrice. Amatrice is in Lazio, which is northeast of Rome, and this is a recipe which belongs to the same family of the carbonara or papellina or indeed the zozona. Also, cacio e pepe is a recipe I've not done in the channel. I will do it eventually. That is another one part of the family. And those are typical Roman, or I should say Lazio recipes. Lazio is not the football team, it's the region I'm referring to. Rome is in Lazio, which is the region. Guanciale is, means cheek, and is the cheek of the pork, which is being cured. Not too dissimilar in terms of treatment to the pancetta, difference being that pancetta is cured belly. But if you cannot get hold of guanciale, by all means get hold of some pancetta, or you can also use bacon. The taste will be different, but they are all very similar, as you will appreciate. Stainless steel pan and a little oil, not a lot, as this will release quite a lot of fat. So I've moved the guanciale on the hob, high temperature to start with, but then I'll turn it onto a medium high, and I'll leave it to cook for a good 5 to 6 minutes until it becomes translucent and crispy. After a few minutes, I'll add some white wine. This is dry white wine.
In case you missed that, everybody, that was dry white wine. Bit of a sizzle going on.
I'll temp the temperature up, and I will leave it for a few minutes until the alcohol from the wine evaporates, but also I want the wine to evaporate as well a little. And all of the wine has evaporated, and I'll move my guanciale in a little dish. The wine is very important, by the way, because as well as adding some flavor, will also seal the guanciale and will retain its crispiness while it continues cooking. Red chili pepper, this is mild, but you can use a hot one if you like. Entirely up to you, depends on your taste. And that goes in the pan. I'm not going to add any more oil, as the pan has got some residues of fat from the guanciale, which is perfect. But I'm now breaking in some plum tomatoes. There it goes. A little water from my pot to rinse the bowl, and I will add it to the tomato. This is now boiling, and I will turn it down onto a medium-high number 6, and I'll leave it to simmer now for about 10 minutes. You might have noticed that I've not added any salt anywhere. The only time I will add salt is to the water for the pasta. The guanciale is quite salty anyway, so I don't want to put too much salt. And also, I will be adding some pecorino cheese later, which is very salty as well. So avoid putting too much salt in the water, or indeed don't put any in the sauce. And this is where I'm going to be slightly controversial, as matriciana normally uses bucatini or spaghetti. Bucatini is like a big spaghetti with a hole in the middle. But I fancy rigatoni. I really like it rigatoni, and I like
It's his favourite.
I like the fact that the guanciale will go inside it. So I'm going to use rigatoni. So you use whatever you like.
You use what you like, dear.
Water is boiling, and my pasta goes in. In the meantime, the tomatoes are boiling away, so I'll turn it down onto a lower number 5. So the pasta is nearly ready, and I will go and remove the chili pepper first, and time to add my guanciale. And I'll mix everything together so that the sauce infuses itself with a lovely flavor from the guanciale. I've just tested the pasta and it's nearly al dente, so I'm going to reserve a little water and I'll drain it. And I will add it to the sauce to finish cooking it. I'll go in with a spoon and mix it together. Turn the temperature up a bit, and I will add some of the starchy water and I'll mix it together. In my case, as I will have the pasta al dente, I will just mix it for about 30 seconds. But if you prefer the pasta to be a little bit softer, just mix it for longer, maybe anything between 1 to 2 minutes, but not much more than that, otherwise it'll become like glue. And I'm ready.
Ooh, yum.
Pecorino cheese goes in. Again, if you find pecorino a little bit too sharp, you could use Parmesan cheese. Any Italian from Amatrice or from Lazio might be swearing at me right now, but it doesn't matter. They are different in taste, but similar at the same time. The difference being that pecorino is sharper and saltier, whereas Parmesan is a little bit milder and sweeter, but overall they are Italian cheeses and they're wonderful with pasta. But of course add it at the end so that the pecorino sticks to the pasta and not to the pan. And before I serve it, a little pepper. And we are ready to dish it. Ensure that you eat it while it's piping hot, by the way, otherwise it will not be the same. Deliziosa. The sweetness of the tomato and the acidity at the same time with the flavor from the guanciale is absolutely wonderful, really well balanced. Only a few ingredients, but the pecorino really with the saltiness, absolutely wonderful. Try it and you will find that you do not need to add any egg like in the papalina or the carbonara, but if you fancy some egg, add some egg, but then you're moving away from a matriciano, of course. Let me know what you think. It's absolutely delicious. Arrivederci e grazie. Ciao.